artist, satirist of our country, Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee. I feel honored to welcome all of you for this virtual event. In the first of its kind today, we have a chief guest to grace the occasion, Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari, Director of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. We also acknowledge the presence of the founder, Professor Kiran Seth. For the Great Masters series, we have two eminent scholars of the country with us, Panditji's disciple, Sri Patha Chatterjee and Pandit Nayan Ghojji. We will be having an interactive session with them a little later. We will also be having a recording of Panditji being played in a short while during the course of the program. May I now take this opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari. He is the director for Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, who started his career as a campus boy and went on to become an alumnus of the institute. He worked as a professor in farm machinery and power engineering in the Department of Agricultural and Food Engineering and became the director of Indian Institute of Kharagpur in December 2019. Some of Professor Tiwari's major contribution in the core research areas include tractor system design, ergonomics and industrial safety, and design of agricultural machines, etc. He has worked with many industries in the area of ergonomics and safety engineering, and also the digital farming solutions for enhancing productivity by robots and drones. Professor Tiwari has been conferred with several awards like the ISAE Gold Medal and Jawaharlal Nehru Award for his contributions in the field of agricultural mechanizations. Besides all these, he is interested in cultural exchange among students within the institute and beyond. We are extremely delighted to have you, sir, amongst us as our chief guest for this edition of the Great Masters Series program of SPIC MACAY. I welcome you, sir, on this occasion and humbly request you to share a few words to begin the program with for the students.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is the time you would like to give me for this talk?
Sir,
Yeah, time is important. Whatever you
yes,
will
sir.
give me, I will talk within that time because
Sir,
I'm
we'll have it for about 5 minutes.
okay. That's great. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of the school who are organizing Speak Mackay today for inviting me as the chief guest. I do not know whether I fit as the chief guest in this function or not because I do love music, but I cannot play any one of the instruments. But yes, I do love music. So maybe because of that love, somehow or the other, I have been identified to be the chief guest. I thank you very much for that. First of all, I'll say that I'm very much impressed by this Speak Mackay program, which has been organized because this talks of the uh, actually Society for the Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture among Youth. Yes, this is very necessary. And the other thing is that the organization of this, I was just seeing that in every year about 5,000 programs are completed and program organized in about 1,000 cities, touching the life of about 3 million students and 1,500 institutions. And it's a great job. And the basics of that actually is the volunteers. You are talking of Nishkam Seva. I think this is wonderful. I'm sure my senior, I would say Kiran Seth ji, Dr. Kiran Seth, I say namaskar to him. I am grateful to him that he has asked some of his student or some of his officials to talk to me. I think you said that you have coined this particular thing as early as 1977. And we are very honored. First of all, we are honored that you chose IIT Kharagpur. I know in 2019 also at IIT Kharagpur there was a program and I came across some of the participants at that time as well. And we feel proud of you being an IIT Kharagpur alumnus. And thank you very much for starting such a such a program and such a vision, and you can say that this is virtually a abhiyan. It is just like an abhiyan, the way you have compared, because it is in fact so much relevant in a pandemic time like that. Because you see, the situation here in the pandemic is that we need to discipline ourselves, and what can be better than this music and culture, because this imbibes in everybody the discipline of keeping himself fit for every raga to be, and the practice that he has to do to evolve any rag or to learn anything. I was just hearing two of the persons, great persons, Patha Chatterjee ji and Nayan Ghosh ji. I think so much of love and affection is there. I think these are the things which needs to be inculcated in our young youth today. They have a very fast life, and in that fast life, in fact, they are thinking of becoming great as early as possible, as fast as possible, at the cost of many things. They are forgetting about the culture, in my view. I think when we are talking of creativity, that creativity in this highest level of competition has simply gone down. These people are not in a position, or not in a position to take a big risk, which is required. If you want to have innovation, you have to take risk. You have to think of something by which you will be in a position to create a product. We are talking of teachers, and we are talking of other people who create so many papers, publications, and PhDs. But output, if you see, it doesn't commensurate with that in form of a product if you are talking of. But this, and for that, in fact, these people need to think. They are not getting time for themselves. I can tell you that if somebody gets a time, he is sitting idle, he will immediately open his Facebook or WhatsApp and see those things and start chatting. So this is very essential that this is inculcated, and I'm very happy that it is being organized in a school. And these small children, when they will hear the riyaz and he will hear the essence of this particular music, I think they will be very much delighted. I suppose my time is over, and I wish everyone thank you very much, and all the best to these students who are listening, and everyone who is listening to this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You said it so very well. I'm sure that the students would have understood that discipline plays an important role in all our ways of lives, be it the practices that we talk about in our daily lives, or even a schedule that we follow for our values that we develop as we grow on. The significance of discipline is not something that we or the students do not understand, but the thing is that the new generation, as Sir rightly pointed out, seldom think about their own minutes or time, the moments of time that they can use for their own development rather than getting engrossed into those social media activities. Very truly said, sir. And I think it was a very short and a very crisp kind of a message that you transcended to the students. Thank you so much.
Namaskar, namaskar.
So now it's over to Ms. Bhargavi Mehto, the official moderator for today's event. Bhargavi.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Bhargavi Mehta, a class 10 student from Modern School, Tiwari Road, Nagpur, the host institution for today's program. Today, through the Great Master series, we bring to you Padma Bhushan Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee through the memories and experiences of Sri Patha Chatterjee and Pandit Nayan Ghoshji. I now request Ms. Nidhi Lade to introduce to us Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee, the eminent sitarist of our country, who has greatly influenced the musical heritage of our country. Over to Nidhi.
Bhargavi, can you please announce who's the next speaker?
Nidhi Lade. She was
Nidhi
on
Lade.
this-
I think she has joined with another name. Can we get?
No. Shailesh Lade. Is there Shailesh Lade?
Yes.
Yes.
BG ma'am, please pass on the names so that the students can be muted, unmuted rather.
Yeah.
I am Nidhi Lade, a class 10 student from Modern School, Koradi Road, Nagpur. It's a great honor for me to introduce the legendary Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee, an eminent Indian classical sitarist of the Maihar Gharana. He was born in Calcutta and had his initial training under his father, Sri Jitendranath Banerjee. After a few years, he attained his early training through Virendra Kishore Roy Chaudhary. Later, he became a disciple of the renowned Guru Baba Alauddin Khan. For all his achievements, he was posthumously awarded Indian Civil Honor of the Padma Bhushan. Earlier, he won the Padma Shri Award in 1968 and was also awarded the Sangeet Natak Academy Award for Hindustani music for instrumental sitar in 1974. One of his greatest achievements was establishing his own distinct style of playing the sitar at a time when the two famous sitarists of the country, Ustad Vilayat Khan and Pandit Ravi Shankar, were already renowned for their styles. His knowledge of true Senya Raga was undoubted and he carefully maintained its purity. Pandit Nikhil Banerjee was extremely humble and completely dedicated towards the sitar recitals.
Thank you, Nidhi, for the introduction. Now, I request Vrinda Kulkarni to introduce and welcome Sri Patha Chatterjee, one of the disciples of Pandit Nikhil Banerjee. Over to Vrinda.
I, Vrinda Kulkarni, feel completely privileged to introduce Sri Patha Chatterjee, an eminent sitarist of the Senia Maihar Gharana. He is one of the leading sitarists of our country who belongs to a famous musical family of Kolkata. He received the Vasundhara Award in 2011 and the Puttaraj Samman Award in 2013. Panditji has developed a unique style on the sitar, exemplified by the evocative fluidity of his four-scale alap, the vocal gaiki ang, balanced in equal parts with a supreme command. His renditions are classical, which cross boundaries and brings out his musical strength. He is presently a faculty at Sangeet Research Academy in Kolkata. I welcome you, Panditji, to this event of Great Master series of SPIC MACAY.
Thank you, Vrinda, for the introduction. Now, I request Soham Kali to introduce and welcome Pandit Nayan Ghoshji, an eminent sitarist and tabla maestro of our country. Over to you, Soham.
I am Soham Kale, a student of Standard 9 from Modern School, Koradi Road, Nagpur. I take the privilege to introduce and welcome Pandit Nayan Ghoshji, an eminent Indian tabla and sitar maestro. He accompanied Pandit Nikhil Banerjee for many occasions in many performances. He is one of the rare artists in Indian classical music with equal command on both the sitar and the tabla. Over the years, Sri Nayan Ghoshji has won recognition as a distinguished tabla player of Farrukhabad Gharana. But he is equally adept in Delhi Ajrara and Lucknow Gharanas of tabla. He comes from a family where music has been a part of their life for 5 generations. Sri Nayan Ghoshji received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award of 2014 for his contribution to Hindustani instrumental music. I welcome you, Panditji.
Thank you, Soham, for the introduction. We will now have the interactive session wherein the students will ask a few questions to the esteemed artists. Over to Sanvi Pathak.
Do you want us to start speaking?
Sir, some of our students want to ask you some questions. So they'll be asking questions and we would like if you could answer them.
Yes, but is it going to start with the question answer session right now, or we are putting question answers at the end?
Panditji, the question answers will have all the things that
Okay.
we want to hear from you in a way.
All right.
About him. And then you can add, sir, in the end.
Sure, sure.
Bhargavi, can you please announce the name once more?
Sir, Sanvi Pathak.
Sanvi, you can unmute yourself now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sanvi Pathak, a student of Standard 8 from Modern School. My question is to Shri Patha Chatterjee. Panditji, can you just share your experience as a disciple with Pandit Nikhil Banerjee And how was your musical journey influenced by Panditji?
Well, I started learning from him in the year 1970, 71. Initially, it was very, very hard because he was not really interested to teach. So I had to go back and forth with very slender, very little talim, just instructions, but I had to stick to it, and I tried my best to approach him whenever I could. He was very busy concertizing artist at that time, performing all over the world. So whenever he would be in Calcutta, I would take every opportunity to meet him and ask him. And then slowly it eased up in course of 3-4 years. And then I traveled with him a little bit. I played Tanpura with him in the concerts. And I used to listen to his riyaz. He allowed me to do that. So I used to go and sit, sometimes give theka on tabla with his playing. So that's how, and then he gave me a serious responsibility for which I had to be in close touch with him. That was writing all the letters for him, doing his secretarial job, you can say. So that helped me. I had to be in touch with him. And so in a very natural way, I got close to him. And I got to learn whatever I could in course of 12 years, which is not a very little space. So, in 12 years, I learned the rags, fundamental rags, some of them, and then compositions and such sort of things. And then slowly, very early in his life, at the age of 54, he passed away. So that left a void in my life. But then I was accepted as a disciple by his guru, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan. So I continued my studies with Khan Saab for the next 10 years or so. So that's the story of my journey, you can say.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Over to Sarthak for the next question.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sarthak Pendharkar, a student of class 10 from Modern School, Koradi Road, Nagpur. Pandit Nayan Ghoshji, we would like to hear from you. How was your experience of accompanying Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee? And also, what has been the most memorable moment you have experienced with him as an artist?
Well, I will, before coming to the main focal point, I'll just say that my association with Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee has been right since my birth in 1956, because his association with my father, he was like a younger brother to my father, Pandit Nikhil Ghosh. And my father knew him since he was about 15, 16 years old. And my father was very fond of him and encouraged him a lot in his growing time and supported him in every possible way, because by that time, my father was a very established tabla player. So he contributed greatly to the growth and stage eminence of Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee. And because of this relation, I have known him since my very early childhood. And in fact, I've grown up listening to him. And so I'm coming to the accompanying part, but I should mention that at a time when two powerful sitar players had completely influenced the music scene, Pandit Ravi Shankar on one hand, Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab on another hand, and he was just a little bit younger to them. And for him to come out as a third dimension in sitar was a huge, huge revolution in sitar music. And Pandit Nikhil Banerjee's playing, now I'm slowly coming to the accompanying part. his playing essentially was very meditative and contemplative in nature. His performances was always full of content and very good repertoire that he got from his talim, from Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab and Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, and also from Pandit Virendra Kishore Rai Chaudhary earlier, and a couple of other people. Pandit Radhika Mohin Motra, Pandit Ustad Mustaq Ali Khan Sahab, and so on. However, what one needs to understand as an accompanist is the melodic content of his playing. And he had a very, very forceful stroke pattern. The right hand strokes were very powerful. And he played on a very much thicker string than normally what other sitar players play. And because of that, he got a typical tone. And even his sitar was constructed in such a way of teak wood that it gave us a very special tone, which many other sitars, they were all different. They were all different. And now I'll tell you that his knowledge of tabla was very good because he lived closely with my father for many years and was heavily influenced by the compositions of the great tabla guru and maestro, Ustad Amir Hussain Khan. And my father shared a lot of Amir Hussain Khan's compositions, which Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee very, very intelligently transformed and changed them into a melodic pattern. The rhythmic, beautiful patterns and designs and chakradars and tukras, he put them in melodic form and executed it on the sitar. And therefore, it was very necessary that a tabla accompanist should understand both the rhythmic structures that he played, the rhythmic patterns, as well as its melodic content. And to understand the melodic content, a tabla player must be very, very sound with the knowledge of raga system. So only being a tabla player does not really suffice. One has to have a sound base of raga knowledge. And therefore, the accompaniment has to be a beautiful blend of melodic intensity as well as, melodic joy as well as rhythmic content. So with that in mind, when I played with him, I had to keep these things in mind, and he enjoyed very much. Of course, he always looked up to my father as one of his idols. But I tried my best. I was pretty young when I first played with him, and then I received a lot of appreciation from him for the matter that I was playing. Every time he was giving me a turn in my solo expositions, whatever I could play as extempore and spontaneous to match his music, and then slowly finding my way into some beautiful traditional composition, which he thoroughly enjoyed, because that is what he appreciated about tabla, how a good tabla accompanist is able to play spontaneous extempore things as well as fuse into traditional material. So this is my experience of accompanying him, a great satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you, Panditji, for sharing the memorable moments with your Guru. Now, I would like to ask you, out of all these memorable moments, which has been the one most cherishable with your Guru?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there are many, many moments which are memorable, cherishable. But what I liked very much, what really encouraged me very much was, let me tell you that as a sitar player, I also have Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee as one of my idols. And what satisfies me very much when a great maestro like Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee says that your tabla has a lot of melody, has a lot of, besides the speed and the fast elements and powerful and all that, those are not all the things required in a tabla. The ability to understand the main artist and align with him and become one entity instead of two separate entities, in the main artist and the accompanist. That is what exactly he appreciated. And he said that, you know, you really, when you play, you really become one with this music, what I am playing. And that was one of the biggest compliments that I got in my life.
Thank you, Panditji.
Thank you, Sarthak, for the question. Over to Mrikesh Chanbandu for the next question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Mrikesh Janmandu, a 10th class student of Modern School, Tiwari Road, Nagpur. My question is for Shri Patha Chatterjee. Shri Pathaji, Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee was an introvert as an artist and largely remained away from the limelight. Can you please share your comments on this?
Yeah, everybody knows that he was very much withdrawn within himself, although he was very jovial in nature. So some people also mistook him, when he was in the company of appropriate people, right? He used to even enjoy jokes and so on. But at the back of his mind, there was always the same person, the Nikhil Bannerjee, who always enjoyed that quietude in his own mind. He would always be contemplating on the music, on the new things that he could develop, he could play, and how he could even evolve as style in his sitar, how to introduce the guts, the compositions in a new way, new fashion. Like he did not like so much so the exact, the copy of the traditional things always. So do something new. Just move out of the hackneyed track and do something new. So he used to follow those, like Bada Khayal, he used to take and then convert the Vilambit Gat in the model of that. His thinking was like that. So a lot of thinking on tabla also he used to do. I saw him counting fingers, like that, counting the numbers of tal. So many occasions he's not talking. He's just sitting there and quietly doing that. So he used to do that. Think about, as Nayanji said, thought about tabla compositions and how they could be applied on sitar, and this kind of things. And also he had given a lot of thought recently, towards the end of his life, about making a style which will be very, very condensed, so that he could reduce the inessentials and go to the core of the rag, like a singer might be doing. So he had chosen a new style, totally new style, when he used, but not that he would not perform the compositions that he had learned from his gurus, Alauddin Baba or Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. But then he would always try to introduce something like the tone, the issue of tone that he said. It's a new tone, totally new tone. But he also retained, when he was playing the tans, how to adapt those existing, the brilliance of Vilayat Khan Saab's tans, the variety of Amir Khan Saab's tans, which was the last thing that it got hold on his mind, and he was trying to adapt those chut tans that Amir Khan Sahab. So his mind was always in the music. It is so much of work when you try to combine, and most of all, if I put it together in one way, I would say the best of Drupad and the best of Khayal. These two things were there always on his mind, and he could balance them. So it's not just the purity, but the simplicity, also the dignity of Drupad. He tried to maintain that, and then blend with it the beauty, the lyricism, the quality that would make it more interesting from the khyal, from different using the alankars, so that it's not a dry, dragging thing, you know. So he would do that, and that takes so much of time. I mean, I simply wonder how could he achieve to do all those things within that short life of him. So it was a tremendous job that he did, and he wouldn't have done it if he had not been withdrawn within himself and totally, you know, introverted.
Thank you, Parthaji, for that answer.
Thank you,
Bhargavi,
Nikesh.
before, sorry to interrupt, but Bhargavi,
Yes,
before you
ma'am.
go on to the next segment, there is another teacher who's wanting to ask a question to Shri Patha Chatterjee. Can we have Supta madam on the screen? Supta ma'am, can you unmute and ask the question?
The host has muted you. गुड आफ्टरनून सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन पार्थो जी से है। नमस्कार सर, आपका जो निखिल बनर्जी जी के साथ एसोसिएशन था, तो उस समय का कुछ सुनहरे पल हमको बताइए।
Can you please speak in English so that I can get to the point more clearly?
पीजी मैडम, आप कन्वे कर
Yeah.
दीजिए।
She just wants to know that you must have had beautiful memories, you know, like different sets of memories in your association with Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee. She just wants to know which out of them, according to you, would be the most cherishable experience.
Well, hard to say, you know, because if you spend 12 years with one person and spending so many days, there were so many occasions that, I mean, in which way I would say memorable, personally or music wise, or which one, what is your expectation? What do you want to hear?
Sir, we would want to hear more about the music side, that,
Yes.
you know,
Okay.
while you were with him, and what was some moments that you cherished him as a, you know, the great legend that we have had him as.
Yes, I get it now. Well, let me first say very briefly that he was an artist who was totally objective in his approach to music. He was never too much of an egoist, too much of himself as an artist. He would take the music and judge the music and go with the music and express the music, which means that moment of the music was important for him and that rag was important for him. Now, taking it to that point, I'm just trying to tell you, one day he told me after his concert, the concert was on probably Saturday night, Saturday evening, and I went to him on Sunday morning. He told me, well, how do you think the program is? How people accept it? I said, they always say good, you know, but you know, I was really mesmerized. What can I say about your performance? No, I don't want to know from you. I want to know the people. I want to know about how people felt. And then he said, I know that very few people understand the music, but even those who do not understand the music, they get to the heart of the music just by listening. And I count their opinion very much. I have to see that those who practice the music, they know the music, they have easy access to the music. But what about those who do not know the music? If they are touched, then I would think that, yes, my music could reach a level which was good, which was really worth playing at that moment. So this objectivity, I was really astounded when I heard him saying that. So if I could make, he said, if I could make a rag out of maybe 5 minutes, I would not go over to 10 minutes to stretch it unnecessarily. So I have to see what happens, Therefore, with all those, the moment was immediately clear to me what he really meant. That in spite of all this virtuosity, all this tremendous control of the instrument and everything, he would not ever indulge in any excess which would spoil his music. So that was a unique thing, unique balance, holding back at the right moment. And that experience was unfolded in his asking me about the common people, how their reaction was on the stage. So I do remember that one very much.
I think we have the time limit. So should we have more question or should we go to the next segment, please?
No, sir. Ashokji, we are finished with the questions, I think. Biji ma'am, we must go for the next
Okay,
participant.
so I will just say one thing to all the students and everybody who is hearing it, that the birth of SPIC MACAY also was, it came to Dr. Kiran Seth's mind when he joined IIT Delhi. So in his class, he asked the students, how many of you know Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee? And he was shocked, he was quite surprised that there was not a single hand raised. And that, that really triggered him to start something like SPIC MACAY. And lastly, children, as Parthada, as Nayanda has said, he was a very, very introvert person as an artist, and his music, you will hear, it is so meditating. So I'm really requesting you, please don't leave and join and all those things. Stay there. You have been studying a lot. Just close your eyes and soak in the beautiful music segment that we are going to play now. It will really be very, very helpful. I'll request Partha Dada to just explain what we are going to play.
Before that, can I be permitted to sum up Nikhil Bannerjee's music?
Yes. Why not, Nayanda?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Parthada, is it okay? Can I speak?
Of course.
Okay, great. Now here, I would like to say that here was a sitarist who made history in sitar music, in Indian Hindustani music. How? As I covered some time back, not only an individuality, but a beautiful blend of the original sitar language, which is called Tantrakari Ang, and the Gayaki, which is the vocalized styles of Drupad and Khayal, as Parthada had covered. So the one was his tremendous sense of balance and intensity, and every phrase, every stroke of his performance had a purpose. Nothing went waste. Not a single stroke went waste. Not a single phrasing or tan went waste. That was, and yet he could hold the entire audience into his grip till the very last end of his performance. Nobody moved. I mean, now that children are watching this, I must tell you that when we talk about meditative music, it's not just slow music. We are also talking about speed that you young people at your age very much look forward to. A lot of speed and power. He had everything, but he made sense out of that. That was the beauty. I mean, he didn't get carried away if there was an applause at a certain time. And what often musicians do when they see, okay, this thing has worked well with the audience, then they repeat that thing a couple of times more just to win more applause. He wouldn't give in that way, because the quality of his music should not suffer. That was his main thing. So he never compromised. He never played gimmicks in his entire performance. He was one great sitar player who was highly respected and loved by all his contemporaries also. Whether it was Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab, whether it was Pandit Ravi Shankar Ji, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, I mean, from whom he learned. Even there was a lot of mutual love and respect. And Nikhil Bannerjee is held in perhaps the highest esteem among the musicians of his generation. and a landmark musician who has paved the way for future sitar players. This is very important. He has played a big role and influenced the next generation. And I'm also one of them sitar players who has been very much influenced by his music, his thought. Thank you.
Very well said.
Partha, can you explain the music that we are going to play?
Yes.
The music of Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee, the video that we are going to play. Can you speak a line about it?
Before it's played, you mean?
Yeah. Before we start it,
well,
the raga that he's playing.
Yeah, as far as I remember, you told me about that video which is showing in YouTube these days on Malua Kalyan, the only
yes, sir. Malua Kalyan only
television program that was there. Malua Kalyan was, as far as I heard from him, was a rag composed by Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab, and it is a combination primarily of the Maluha Ang, which is Dama Pada Sa. That Maluha Ang is put together with Ma Modham, by Murchana, you take Modham as the Sa and Dama Pada Sa. So it is a Maluha Kedar converted to Kalyan, because Kedar itself is also a very strong Kalyan. So, unless you play or sing, it's difficult to explain more than that. But it is, Maluha Kedar is a very traditional old rag, one type of Kedar out of 5 or 6 like that. And Maluha element is that Dha Ma Pa Dha Sa, in the lower part more. And then Sa Ma, both, Kedar has it and Maluha Kalyan also has it. But it is little easier if you think of the movement. So that is Maluha Kalyan. He used to play this, he loved this rag very much. And his first LP came out from a gramophone company, probably in some year, I don't remember the year, 65, 66, like that. There was a Maluha Kalyan in one side, in Chartal Ki Tiwari, in which Pandit Kanai Dutt played with him. So that was there, and also this recording, by coincidence, this is the only long recording, video recording he has. So that was also Maluha Kalyan.
Thank you, Panditji. Abhishek, can
Ashokji, just a second. We'll have the vote of thanks first before we play the videos.
Okay.
Thank you, Sri Patha Chatterjee and Pandit Narayan Ghoshji, for those answers. It was surely a wonderful experience getting to know more about Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee through both of you. I now request Mrs. B.G. George from the host institution, Modern School, Tiwari Road, Nagpur, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Bhargavi. As is the tradition, it's time now for the formal vote of thanks. Being a part of today's edition of the Great Masters series, I feel SPIC MACAY has been successful in transcending the legends of our rich cultural heritage to these students. In a short while, we will be airing the recording of the sitar recital by Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee on this virtual platform. I request all of you to stay tuned for the same. And now, continuing with the vote of thanks, I congratulate IIT Delhi celebrating their Diamond Jubilee year for their initiative and thank them specially for helping us to be a part of the Great Masters series once again. I would also like to thank SRF Foundation for their continued support in conducting this event. I feel privileged to convey our special thanks to the artists par excellence, Sri Patha Chatterjee ji and Pandit Nayan Ghoshji, who in their experiences that they narrated just now, gave us a vivid glimpse into the life and the style of the great master Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee. A big thanks to both of you for sparing time out of your busy schedules and being a part of this series. I'm sure today the students who attended this event would have been actually enriching, would carry with them an enriching experience, a musical experience. We were extremely honored to have with us Professor V.K. Tiwari, Director IIT Kharagpur, who expressed his willingness and eagerness to be a part of this program and guided us through his expressions and especially his quote on discipline being maintained in creativity. I'm sure the students are going to take it as a big takeaway of this program. The personality who defines the SPIC MACAY identity the best, its founder, Dr. Kiran Seth. Thank you, sir, for the cultural connect you have established through this program. May it come to survive for many more years and let every generation be benefited out of it culturally. A special thanks to the technical team of SPIC MACAY and the coordinators of the Great Masters series, Mrs. Pratima Mishra, Mrs. Rinku Chakrabarti, and Mr. Ashok Jain. Thank you for all the support in helping us to frame up this program. Thanks to all of you who joined us virtually as the audience today. Thanking you all once again. I request you all to stay tuned for the sitar recital of Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee, the great master and the legendary sitarist. Over to you, Bhargavi.
Thank you, Vijay. May I request the technical team of SPIC MACAY to present the sitar recital of Panditji.
Namaskar. It is a great honor for me to be introducing one of the greatest sitar players of this century, Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee. Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee belonged to the Maihar Sainya Gharana. Coming from the same school, from the same Gharana, he has always been a great inspiration for me right from my childhood. I have always listened to his music as much as I have listened to my own guru, Pandit Ravi Shankar. Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee was a musician's musician and has served as an inspiration to many young musicians following him. He had his initial training under his father, Sri Jitendranath Bannerjee, and later he learned from many other musicians. But it was his learning under Baba Alauddin Khan Sahab of Maihar that served as an icing on the cake in his education of music. When one imagines Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee to be playing, one thinks of him sitting on stage, head bent, deeply immersed in his music. It always seemed that he was playing for himself and audience was just there. He was a great human being who also understood the difficulties of younger musicians. My own personal interaction with him was when I was about 11 years old. Panditji had come down to Bangalore where I was growing up, and my father, being one of the sitar players from Bangalore and a student of Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, had invited him home for dinner. And being the proud father that he was, he wanted me to play for this great musician. Of course, I was very nervous, but Panditji made me feel very easy and very comfortable. Even as I finished tuning the instrument, Panditji said, "Tuning the instrument is one of the most difficult things, and this boy of 11 years has tuned it perfectly." I just played a few things for him. One thing that he told me that evening has remained with me even today. He said, "Beta, Guru jo bhi sikhaye, कोई भी एक्सरसाइज हो, उसी को तोड़ फोड़ के, उसी को मुश्किल करके जब रियाज करोगे तो हाथ और भी अच्छी तरह से चलेगा." In Maihar Gharana we have this one palta, pa dha ni sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa ni sa ni da pa. इसी को जब नी धा पा सा ने द रे सा ने गा ma pa ga ma pa re ga ma sa re ga ne sa re sa ni dha pa. When you're able to practice it this way and master it, your hand over the instrument will be definitely much better. I'm very happy that Doordarshan is releasing this wonderful recording from the archives. In this recording, Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee has played Rag Malua Kalyan and a Bengali folk tune. This is Pandit Nikhil Bannerjee at his best, and I'm sure all of you will enjoy and learn from this as much as I have.
Thank you so much, Parthada, Nayanda. What a treat it has been. I mean, such a treat to hear him.
Yes, Ashokji, I think it was extremely mesmerizing and, a spellbinding performance. We are so fortunate that we could hear it. Bhargavi, you have something to say?
Yes, ma'am. It was a marvelous experience listening to Panditji's recital. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to SPIC MACAY for organizing this series and enriching our cultural values. I also thank Modern School Karate Road Nagpur for giving me this opportunity the second time now to be a part of this program. Namaskar.
Namaskar. I really congratulate you for moderating it beautifully, and Modern School, as always, has done it so beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So with this, we conclude today.
Yeah, we formally conclude the program now, thanking each one of you who joined us and wishing you all the very best for all the days of your life, having musical experience every single day of your lives. Bye for now.
Ashokji, are you announcing the next program?
Yeah, next Saturday, that is on 6th February, we have a great master again, Guru Amanur Madhav Shakyar, a great legendary artist of Kudiyattam, a great artist, a great guru. And children, you can all join it. The Zoom link is the same. So even if the school is not hosting, please join. These are such rare opportunities, such great legends that we must watch them.